Hey, what's up guys, Mashin here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we got a lot of great news to talk about. We're going to be looking at our current market and we're going to see a lot of profit across the board. However, this profit is going to be very interesting where it's spread out. I don't think you're going to be expecting to see the certain cases that are going up in price, and the cases you do expect to see rising in price have really stayed stagnant, which opens up a lot of potential opportunity if we're going to see those rise in the future, or if we're starting to move into a new era of CSGO investing where we're starting to see these more expensive items not get as much growth. Before we hop on into this one though, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor. The sponsor for today's video is Skins Monkey. Now if you don't know what Skins Monkey is, it's one of the most fast and efficient ways to trade out your CSGO skins if you're just not feeling it right now. You can go ahead, hop on over there, claim an extra free $5 on your first trade if you've never used it before. Plus, if you want to deposit some real money, you can get an extra 25% on top of that to spend on the site. It took me less than 3 minutes to complete the entirety of the trade, and if you guys are looking to do so yourself, it'll be the first link down in the description, and enjoy the video. Now personally for me, I never thought we would really see the day where we start to see these active drop cases start to rise in price once again. However, the clutch case has completely redefined that thought of mine. Now don't get me wrong, I think the clutch case is definitely a case that's probably going to sit between that 23 to 33 cent mark for the long term. I think it's one that's definitely shown, at least in its unboxing totals, how sustainably unboxable it is. I mean, people have been unboxing this thing for years and it really hasn't slowed down much compared to every other case. It's the most unboxed case when we're looking at these February numbers, and it's really the same every other month. Now with that being said, it seems like right now we're going through a big accumulation period, and that offers up a lot of potential reason to get out. Now if you're leaning towards myself, like seeing a big summer hype is something you really expect to see, right now might not be the best time to sell. However, it might be a good time to cash out some of your cases if you really want to lock in some of that profit. A lot of people last year got burned because they got completely caught up in the fact that these prices were going up so quickly and they didn't take the time to sell. That's a major part of CSGO investing. If you're not selling, you're really not going to be making much profit. We see these profits go away after a month, so to say. So there's definitely a time period where you need to be getting out, and that's something you should definitely be thinking about. However, today we're not really going to be focusing in on that. We're going to be looking at our major movers right here. The snakebite case is one that's really caught me off guard here, and a lot of the other active drop pool cases I really don't expect to be rising in price. Now we are potentially looking for another CSGO case that would push these ones out. However, it seems like there's not too much evidence to support that a case that is less than a year old would get taken out of rotation. Honestly, the snakebite case, in my opinion, is just at a way too high of price point for what it is, unless people are buying them to unbox, which is very hard to tell, at least at this point, if we're seeing a lot of people unboxing them, because we don't have our March unboxing numbers. Therefore, it's all just speculation. However, if we're looking at this from an investment standpoint, I would definitely stay away from the snakebite case at this time. The case has still got a lot more time to be in the prime drops, at least in my opinion. You can obviously make your own choices here. But I would say if you're going to invest into one of these cases that potentially is going to get moved into the rare drop pool, I think the clutch case, Prisma 2 case, or fracture case are really the only three that stand a chance here. The snakebite and the dreams and nightmares are just too recently released for them to be moved out, especially since that snakebite case also has the same gloves as the broken fang case, which might contribute to the price increases right now. We really just can't tell. Now in the beginning of the video we mentioned that, at least in my perspective, we're seeing a lot of movers I really didn't think was going to happen. First up, we've got the Spectrum 2 case. Now the Spectrum 2 case is one of my favorite cases to invest into. I've got a ton of them. I think it's a really good looking case, especially the knives you can get in it. I've talked all along about the knives, how it's crazy you can get a knife worth over $10,000 for the price point of like 35 cents is what it was at. Now we're sitting above 50 cents, so that's definitely nice to see, at least for me who invested into it. However, I didn't think we were going to get there for a long while, especially looking at this lifetime graph here. You can see that it's never really been able to consistently get over that 50-cent price point. It's really stagnated out around that 40-cent price point because we always had some big update come in, so it's definitely nice to see this, at least for the Spectrum 2 case. Now the cases I talked about that I expected to grow that really haven't been growing is the breakout case. The breakout case has been surprisingly quiet. I feel like the breakout case, at least in the past, has been almost the pioneer to the CSGO growth and the CSGO summer hype. We always saw the breakout case going first, and then we saw a lot of cases following it. The breakout case is one of the most safe investments as viewed by the community. So there's a lot of people who invest into this and expect their money to grow just slowly over time, which is something that has really been reliant for the breakout case. I mean, we've seen it in the past where this case has really just been the slow grower until we see that major market hype, which always happens around the summer here. I'm surprised that we really haven't seen too much news about the breakout case here. I mean, it's only gone up around 15 cents in the past month, which is very similar to what the Spectrum 2 case has gone up in the past month. So this could definitely be a turning point in CSGO investing. No, I don't believe it is. I think these cases are definitely going to still increase in price. However, it's going to see that we're a lot more dependent on these smaller cases growing than these larger cases growing. And that's going to be very good for the people who are invested into it. You're going to be able to double your money when the case goes from 25 cents to 50 cents rather than the breakout here going from 250 to 275. You're really not going to be making much there, maybe 10%, which is basically going to be lost if you go to sell the case. So I think it's definitely good for us as investors if these smaller cases are going to be growing. However, with that being said, it's also going to make it very important on the time you invest in. Now, investing in right now is going to be very questionable. A lot of case prices are up, and especially some like the Riptide case, I don't really believe they are really supportive at their price point. Now, the breakout case, like we mentioned, really hasn't been growing too much. However, when we look at the Riptide case, we're seeing it go from 55 cents to 85 cents in just a short period of time. Now, personally, I am invested into the Riptide case. I've got a couple hundred of these. For me, I am just very hesitant to see where the future lies for these Riptide cases. We've got the Dreams and Nightmares case, which is going to be coming down in price very significantly very soon. And I'm someone who invested big into Shattered Web, and Shattered Web really hasn't been able to show too much growth over the couple years it's been there. I mean, the case right now is sitting at $1.25-ish, and there's very little growth on this overall. I struggle to see a world where the Riptide case is almost at the same price point that the Shattered Web case is, and the Shattered Web case is a couple years old. Now, I get the Riptide is being unboxed significantly more. I don't disagree with that fact. I mean, that is a fact. You can't disagree with it. However, it just seems like there's a lot more hype going to the Riptide case right now for investing purposes rather than for it being unboxable. And I think that's something that's really going to hurt the case long term. It's something we saw with the Shattered Web case where a lot of people invested in, and when they needed that money, they just kept undercutting everyone else to sell their case, and that's partially the reason why the case is still at such a low price point today. It's not necessarily going to happen with the Riptide case, don't get me wrong. However, it's something I feel like a lot of people need to look out for, but they are not really looking out for it so far, and that's something I want to warn you guys, is there is that potential out there for this to happen. But that is really all I have for today, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.